Good Thursday morning, everyone. Welcome back to Weather on the Go, all your weather coverage. In today's video, I will be tracking accumulating snowfall across the Midwest and the Western Great Lakes from today through Saturday, as well as a beast of a storm system moving into the middle of the country as we head into the middle of next week, bringing blizzard-like conditions across the northern tier of states, as well as a possible tornado outbreak to the southern tier of states. We'll get to all that information and also a polar vortex disruption event that will occur across the western and central United States as we head into that third week in December. If you guys are new to the channel and have yet to subscribe, definitely hit the subscribe button down below. I cover Canada, the United States, and the tropics here on this channel and everything in between. And also hit that notification bell to get all of my daily weather forecast updates here on this channel. So looking here at the quick snapshot here this morning, we got a lot going on. We got some rainfall across portions of the Ohio Valley and Tennessee River Valley here this morning, but where it is cold enough here up to the north and west of this low pressure system, we're starting to see some sleet, freezing rain, and even some snow showers breaking out across Nebraska, getting into South Dakota, and that will be spreading eastward across the Midwest as we head into the day on Friday and into the western Great Lakes as well, into portions here of Michigan, Wisconsin, getting into southeastern Minnesota and northeast Iowa. There could be a swath of a few inches of accumulating snow across these areas here from today into the day tomorrow, and even finishing up as we head into the day on Saturday as well across those areas. So looking at your high temperatures this afternoon, definitely warming up here to the deep south here, temperatures along the immediate Gulf Coast and in Florida into the 70s and 80s here down in those areas, but farther to the north where we're going to have those cooler temperatures in the 20s and low 30s out there, even some middle 30s here into southern Wisconsin. We're going to have that wet snow start to fly across portions of northern Iowa, southern Minnesota, back through Nebraska and southern Wisconsin, and that will start to move its way to the east into portions of Michigan as well. And then even into the day on Friday here tomorrow, we'll still have those wet snowflakes flying around with those low to mid 30 daytime highs as we head through those upper Midwestern states and into the Great Lakes here on your Friday. So much so that we actually do have winter weather advisories being hoisted here from the local National Weather Services across portions here of Nebraska, even down here into Kansas, getting up into South Dakota, southern Minnesota, northern and northwestern Iowa, and then extending farther to the east across southern Wisconsin as well with those winter weather advisories. So let's look at this and see what the radar could look like later on today. We got the rainfall across the Ohio and Tennessee River Valley, centered on Kentucky, Tennessee, getting into portions of downstate Indiana, downstate Ohio. But to the north and west, we got those sleet, freezing rain showers, also those snow showers starting to break out across Nebraska here later on this afternoon. That will start to spread its way a little bit farther to the east, and we'll start to see a little bit more of widespread snow showers breaking out across South Dakota, southern Minnesota, northwestern Iowa as we head into the evening hours here tonight, and then that will spread a little bit farther to the east across portions of southern Wisconsin, northeastern Iowa, and southeastern Minnesota, and maybe even far northern Illinois as well as we head into the morning and afternoon on your Friday here on December 9th tomorrow, and then again that will continue to move to the east toward Michigan and getting into the central Great Lakes as we head into Friday evening and going into your Saturday morning. So looking at those winter storm impacts out there from this system, again, we're going to see minor inconveniences on the roads here across portions of southeastern South Dakota, northwestern Iowa, into southwestern Minnesota. Just take it easy on those roads out there if you live in Sioux City, Des Moines, Iowa, getting back up there into southeastern portions of South Dakota. Do take it easy on those roads. We could have snow-covered roads and also some icy spots as well, so definitely take it slow. And also as we head into the day on Friday as well, that will spread eastward with those minor inconveniences on the road here, places like Rochester, Minnesota, the Twin Cities area, getting back into Madison, Wisconsin, Milwaukee, and then across portions there of northern Iowa. We could have those minor travel inconveniences here with those snow-covered roads and those icy roads across those areas as we head into the day on Friday. So looking here the next 24 to 48 hours here, we definitely have a few inches of snow on the way here across northeastern Nebraska, southeastern South Dakota, getting through northern Iowa, southern Minnesota, and then extending farther east here into south central Wisconsin. On the average of about 2 to 4 inches worth of snow could be likely across that swath here across the Midwest. Some isolated higher amounts up to near 5, maybe 6 inches is possible, but that might be a little bit of a stretch across these areas here, with the moisture being a little bit lower than what is expected here across these areas. But as we move into early next week, week here through the weekend into early next week, we're going to start to see our next major storm system take shape across the Pacific Northwest, bringing lots of mountain snowfall and some heavier rains across the Pacific Northwest and the West Coast going into the day on Saturday. And again, this will start to dig in across portions of the western United States. A major trough will dig in across portions of Washington, Oregon, and northern California here as we head into the day on Saturday and into Sunday. And this is going to provide for lots of mountain snow and across especially those upper elevations, some heavier rainfall across northern California and portions here of western Oregon, western Washington state as we head into the afternoon on Saturday. Lots of heavier snowfall again in those upper elevations. That will continue as we head into Saturday evening and even through the day on Sunday here. A lot of those upper elevations here, especially the Sierra Nevadas, getting across portions of Utah, getting into Idaho, back into Oregon State. We're going to be talking about lots of upper elevation snowfall, even some lower elevation snow is possible near the Salt Lake City area, and then getting up toward Boise, Idaho, and back down maybe to the north of Las Vegas. And again, those Sierra Nevadas are going to be very, very snowy across those areas as we head through the weekend. You can see all that mountain snow across the Pacific Northwest and the West Coast, bringing lots of moisture across those areas. And looking specifically here at the Sierra Nevadas, we could see another 2, 3, even 4 feet of snowfall here added on as we head through this weekend into very early next week, going through your Monday time frame potentially across those areas, and then those upper elevations across portions of Washington, Oregon State, getting over toward Idaho, back into northern California, northern Nevada. Yeah, we're going to be adding on several inches, if not double-digit snowfall totals in some of those higher elevations as we head through the weekend here into your Sunday. But that trough won't stop there. That'll actually dig its way farther to the south across the desert Southwest and the Four Corners region into the day on Monday to start next work week. And we have a very strong blocking high pressure system across Greenland and the northeast Canadian provinces. And that is actually going to slow this system down across the southwestern United States going to early next week. So much so that we're going to have some very intense low pressure start to develop across the central plains, across Nebraska, northern Kansas, South Dakota as we head into the day on Tuesday. And that is going to send a very strong cold front across the middle of the country, which will act here as a mechanism for lift for severe weather and also the cold side of the system with the blizzard-like conditions as well. So looking here at the European guidance, a 990 millibar low pressure center is definitely likely across potentially here Nebraska, northern Kansas, or South Dakota here somewhere into the central plains. That low pressure system will develop. And looking ahead of this system, we got a lot of warmer air all the way into eastern Canada, southward here through the Midwest, the Ohio Valley, and the Deep South. And then we got that strong, powerful cold front here dragging all of that colder air farther to the south here into portions of the desert Southwest and the Colorado Rockies as we head through the day on Tuesday. So looking here on your Monday, however, on Monday, December 12th, that warm sector is going to start to move its way northward here. We got 50s returning for much of Missouri, Kansas, some 60s down here into portions of Oklahoma, Arkansas, 70s here across portions of Texas, Louisiana, and Mississippi. We got the colder air up to the north and west across the northern plains and the Intermountain West on your Monday. But looking here at that warm sector with that severe weather potential, we got the dew points rising here out of the western Gulf of Mexico, advecting northward. Dew points will be in the 50s and 60s out there, especially into Texas, into Louisiana, and southern Mississippi on your Monday. And again, we got that positively to neutrally tilted trough starting to dig in across portions of the West Coast as we head into through the day on Monday. And that is going to be a pretty strong mid-level jet. Our 500 millibar mid-level jet's going to be screaming on rounding the base of this trough as we head through the day on Monday. And on the nose of this mid-level jet, we're going to start to see here a lot of lift for these storms. We got a little bit of a low-level jet here around 35 to 45 knots building up here across Oklahoma and Texas as we head into Monday afternoon. And that's why the Storm Prediction Center has actually gone ahead and outlooked this area on day 5 to a 15% slight risk across eastern Oklahoma, far western Arkansas, and in North Texas. So this is something to watch near the Dallas-Fort Worth area, getting up into the Oklahoma City metro area, maybe up near Tulsa, and then again far western Arkansas as well. And then as we head into the day on Tuesday here, you can see that warm sector starts to open up a little bit farther north. We got 50s all the way up here into central Illinois, northern Missouri, 40s all the way up here into southern Wisconsin, northern Iowa, into Michigan as well. We got the 60s and 70s farther south, creating plenty of that energy and instability probability, if you will, as we head into that Tuesday, December 13th timeframe, that those dew points will be rising as well. That moisture from the central and western Gulf here is going to be moving all the way up into the lower Missouri Valley. We got dew points in the mid to even upper 50s. Farther to the south across the Arklatex, getting down here into the Mississippi Delta region, we're going to be seeing dew points here rising into the middle 60s, if not upper 60s, as we head into the later on Tuesday. We got that negatively tilted trough starting to take a negative tilt on the day on Tuesday here, especially Tuesday afternoon, with that very strong spiraling low pressure system here centered on Nebraska. And you can see that very strong, very potent mid-level jet here, the 500 millibar mid-level jet rounding the base of this negatively tilted trough. And you definitely can see the winds turning west-southwest across central Texas and then turning here from south to north with that negative tilt across portions of the Missouri Valley up into the Midwest on Tuesday. You got that very incredibly strong low-level jet on Tuesday. I think the low-level jet actually increases in intensity and gusto on Tuesday here, not only from the upper Midwest, but all the way south through the Missouri Valley and the Mississippi Delta region and the Arklatex, and that will create some havoc here. The Storm Prediction Center has actually expanded the slight risk for severe weather into southern Missouri, much of Arkansas, western Tennessee, western portions of Mississippi, eastern Texas, eastern Oklahoma, but they have actually upgraded to a enhanced risk, a 30% chance of severe weather, which is also an enhanced risk on the day 6 outlook here for southeastern and southern Arkansas and much of northern portions of Louisiana. And I do feel like this will be expanding northward a little bit further here. So if you live in St. Louis, if you live in southern Illinois, or even portions here of northern Arkansas, some of these areas will be expanding with the probabilities for severe weather in the days to come. So definitely watch the weather forecast here on YouTube or your local weather station here to get more details in the coming days. So looking here at this low pressure system as we head into Monday afternoon, it's going to be developing on the lee side of the Rockies. We're going to see some mountain snow across the Rockies here, some scattered showers ahead of this system here on Monday afternoon, but it's really as we head into Monday evening after dark, going into the overnight hours into Tuesday morning is where we're going to start to see these supercell thunderstorms firing up across southeastern and eastern Oklahoma, northern and northeastern Texas. Again, this will be after dark. We could have isolated tornadoes, damaging winds, large hail, and of course the heavy rainfall and the frequent lightning that comes with it as well. That will spread its way eastward as we head through the day on Tuesday and into Tuesday night. Again, another after dark risk here, again going through the afternoon hours, and then after dark on Tuesday going into Wednesday morning, we'll have a squall line from portions of the Illinois and Missouri valleys southward through the Arklatex and into the Mississippi Delta region here, bringing some widespread damaging winds, large hail, and yes, possibly numerous tornadoes, especially into Arkansas and Louisiana and even Mississippi as we head into the evening hours on your Tuesday. So looking at the rainfall amounts, again, we're going to see some heavy rainfall with this system here. Dark green shaded areas, you could expect at least anywhere from 1/4 to 3/4 of an inch of rain on your Monday. Going into Tuesday, a lot more heavy rainfall here from the Midwest and Great Lakes all the way south through the Arklatex and getting into portions of the Tennessee Valley and the Gulf Coast. We could be seeing some widespread rainfall amounts in the blue shaded colors here of around 1 inch to 1.5 inches. In the purple shaded colors from Illinois southward into Missouri here, Arkansas, getting into the western Ohio Valley, western Tennessee Valley here in the purple shaded colors approaching 2 inches. And then even some red shaded colors showing up here in northeastern Arkansas and southeastern Missouri could be up over 3 inches of rain on Tuesday, and that will continue to spread its way to the east. We got some heavier rainfall here from Kentucky through Tennessee, through much of northern Alabama here into northern Georgia and eastern portions of Mississippi, with that continued squall line as it pushes eastward with potentially more severe weather on Wednesday as we have some heavy rainfall across those areas as well. So looking here through the next 7 days, yes, it is going to be very active here across much of the country. We got those heavier rains across the west here, across portions of California and the Pacific Northwest. But with this system, we're going to be seeing several inches of accumulating rainfall across the Midwest, the Ohio Valley, the Tennessee Valley, and the Gulf Coast. You can definitely see by week's end as we get towards next week, toward the very middle of December on Thursday, December 15th, we could be talking about widespread 2 to 6 inches, maybe even 7 inches of rainfall potentially in some of these areas as we head through the next 7 days. But we have the snowfall on the northwest side of the system with all that cold air wrapping around here from north to south. We got the very very heavy snow bands across the Dakotas into western Minnesota, stretching back into western Nebraska here on Tuesday morning. That will spread its way toward northern Minnesota, northern Wisconsin, and the UP of Michigan as we head through the day on Wednesday. Lingering snow showers farther to the west, and that will continue even into the day on Thursday as well with the slow-moving low-pressure system. We also do have to worry about the wind component with this on the backside of the system, bringing those blizzard-like conditions. You've got the very heavy 1 to 2 inch per hour snowfall rates potentially, and also some very strong winds from the north and northeast as well on the backside of this low-pressure system going through the day on Tuesday into Wednesday, and that even continues on Thursday here, even after the snowfall has ended, with maybe some ground blizzard here conditions to worry about across the Dakotas, getting back here into Nebraska, and even eastern Wyoming, northeastern Colorado, and even northwest Kansas as we head through the day on Thursday. Looking at those snowfall amounts here using the European high resolution guidance, yeah, we're talking about a widespread swath of some very heavy snow in the purple and red shaded colors of at least 6 inches, possibly over a foot of snowfall can be expected across some of these areas into the northern plains and upper Midwest. Looking at the GFS model, very similar again, at least 6 inches across the Dakotas into eastern Montana here into Minnesota, northern Wisconsin here, and maybe the UP of Michigan. We could be seeing at least 6 inches, possibly some areas getting over a foot of snow locally in some of these areas as we go through the middle of next week. But beyond the system, we're going to be talking about a very large cool down for much of the lower 48, especially centered on the Pacific Northwest and the West Coast from December 15th all the way through that third week here in December, going through Wednesday, December 21st. And this will really be active here as well. So with those colder temperatures, we could be seeing above normal precipitation. So you put 2 and 2 together, we could be talking about some snowfall potentially in the desert Southwest and the Central Plains. And I wouldn't even rule it out down here in Oklahoma or Texas as well, going into that Thursday time frame here on December 15th, going all the way through Wednesday, December 21st as well. So that will be something to watch with all of those colder temperatures. And you can see with that polar vortex here from Canada, it's going to be opening up farther to the south. We're going to see all of that colder air retreating southward all the way to the Gulf Coast here with that freezing line going in towards the middle of December. And that really continues with that big plunge of Arctic air from north to south here as we get towards the next weekend time frame on the 17th and 18th of December here, just a few days before Christmas. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. Definitely appreciate it. If you guys like the video and the breakdown, definitely like it down below by giving it a thumbs up. Leave any comments, questions, and concerns below. We'll get to those later on today. And most importantly, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Thanks for all the new subscribers out there. I definitely appreciate it so much. And also hit the notification bell to get all of my daily weather forecast updates here on this channel. Have a great Thursday, everyone. A great rest of your week, and I'll see you all in the next video.